All right, let's just take a look at this. The new league, aka Project B, is now following several new players, including Indiana Fever star Kelsey Mitchell. That's right. So I went over here myself, right? Okay. I went over here and they're only following 11 entities. They're only following 11 on their official Twitter feed. Kelsey Mitchell. I'm not following Kelsey, really? My girl Camila Cardoso.
The silence was deafening when the news broke. Kelsey Mitchell, the Indiana Fever sharpshooting star, was reportedly on the radar of Project B basketball, a controversial new league threatening to redefine professional women's hoops. This wasn't just a rumor, their official social media was following her, a direct signal of intent that sent shockwaves through the WNBA. It became instantly clear the league's inability to retain its top talent might force players into choices that felt like career-ending ultimatums, effectively banning them from the WNBA itself if they chose the money. The landscape of women's basketball was about to crack wide open, and the pressure on even the league's newest sensation, Caitlyn Clark, was about to become unimaginable.
So, you can see I'm following her. Center, the Chicago Sky, right? Jewel B. Lloyd, Jewel Lloyd, a hotshot basketball player out of France. Nike athlete Marine Johannes. They're following her. We know this is going to be an international league. They're talking about playing for a quote-unquote world championship. And then in case you guys didn't know this, my third favorite player in the entire WNBA is Jonquel Jones.
This new entity, Project B, isn't just another fledgling startup, it's a global powerhouse aiming for a world championship. Flexing significant financial muscle, they're not just scouting, they're strategically targeting players, including some of the WNBA's biggest names, to build an international roster that could rival any established league. The implications for player loyalty in the future of existing organizations are staggering, creating an unprecedented dilemma for athletes caught between opportunity and tradition. This isn't just about basketball, it's about control, money, and the power players hold.
My third favorite player in the entire WNBA is Jonquel Jones. And they are also following Jonquel Jones. Very interesting because they're following Nike Ogumake, who is signed with their league, and Alyssa Thomas, who is signed with their league. We've heard they've already signed other players. We don't know who those other players are. Should be noted, unless I'm going crazy, Camila Cardoso, Jonquel Jones are not playing in Unrivaled.
What's truly remarkable is the precision of their recruitment. Project B's official channels, with only a handful of follows, zeroed in on key WNBA figures. Kelsey Mitchell, the dynamic guard from the Fever, was one of them, a clear indication they're not just looking for talent, but for established stars with significant fan bases. Her inclusion immediately raises the stakes, suggesting Project B is aiming for the heart of the WNBA's current roster, not just fringe players seeking a new opportunity. The targeting of such a prominent player sent an undeniable message to the WNBA.
Unless I'm going crazy, Camila Cardoso, Jonquel Jones are not playing in Unrivaled. I don't know what that means, but I find it very interesting that these random players are being followed by this new league. And it should be noted, at least these particular players, not counting Alyssa Thomas, but some of these players, Jonquel Jones.
Beyond Mitchell, the list of WNBA stars being courted grows more alarming for the established league. My third favorite player in the entire WNBA, Jonquel Jones, a dominant force for the New York Liberty, is also on Project B's radar, being directly followed by their official account. This isn't a small-time operation. They are going after MVPs and champions, players who are foundational to their current teams. The sheer audacity of this recruitment strategy is enough to make any WNBA fan nervous about the upcoming season.
By Project B, there has also been concern the league's partnership with Saudi Arabia-owned entertainment company, prompting accusations of, quote, sports washing, or the use of sports and entertainment to distract from a record of human rights abuses. This is going to get so interesting going forward. So interesting. Again, I don't care if there's 66 players. I don't care who signs with that league. I don't. If Caitlyn Clark plays,
even rising stars are in their crosshairs. Camila Cardoso, the Chicago Sky's highly anticipated center and a huge name from South Carolina, is another player caught in Project B's web of follows. She's not even played a professional game yet, and already a new league is making its intentions known. This demonstrates a long-term vision, targeting both established veterans and future legends, signaling a systemic assault on the WNBA's talent pipeline. The competitive landscape is clearly shifting dramatically, right before our eyes.
This is going to get so interesting going forward. So interesting. Again, I don't care if there's 66 players. I don't care who signs with that league. I don't. If Caitlyn Clark plays, I'm watching it. I'm just letting you know right now. And we know the money's going to be big. So, as you can imagine, we're going to keep our eyes open. But Kelsey Mitchell, Jonquel Jones are two huge names. Jewell Loyd, big name. Camila Cardoso.
But the talent grab doesn't stop there. Project B is also following international powerhouses like Marine Johannes, a Nike athlete and French basketball star, and Jewell Loyd, another hotshot player from France. This underlines the league's global ambition, aiming to draw the world's best, regardless of their current league affiliation. The sheer breadth of their recruitment, spanning continents and existing contracts, highlights the severe challenge facing the WNBA, forcing them to confront a truly global competitor.
Imagine we're going to keep our eyes open, but Kelsey Mitchell, Jonquel Jones are two huge names. Jewell Loyd, big name. Camila Cardoso, big name, high-profile athlete out of South Carolina University. Chicago Sky. Oh, this is going to get good, I think. This storyline, watching how this affects Unrivaled, again, I think Unrivaled is doomed. And then how it affects the WNBA.
Adding further weight to the threat, Project B has already secured significant WNBA talent. Nico Guamike and Alyssa Thomas, two bona fide WNBA stars, have reportedly already signed with the new league. This isn't just speculation or social media follows anymore. Actual contracts are being inked, pulling players directly from the WNBA roster. This concrete action confirms the severity of the situation, indicating that the WNBA is not just losing players, but its grip on player loyalty.
Oh, this is going to get good, I think. This storyline, watching how this affects Unrivaled, again, I think Unrivaled is doomed. And then how it affects the WNBA is going to get really interesting. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.
The driving force behind this potential exodus, a lucrative compensation package that players are reportedly speaking highly of. The WNBA, long criticized for its relatively modest salaries, suddenly faces a direct financial competitor willing to invest heavily in its athletes. This financial allure is undeniably powerful, placing WNBA players in an agonizing position of choosing between unprecedented wealth and their existing league. The money is simply too good to ignore, making it an irresistible force. However, this massive financial backing comes with its own deeply uncomfortable controversy. Project B's partnership with a Saudi Arabia-owned entertainment company has sparked accusations of sports washing, where sports and entertainment are used to distract from human rights abuses. This adds a complex ethical layer to the players' decisions, forcing them to weigh financial opportunity against moral considerations. It's not just about basketball anymore, it's about navigating a geopolitical minefield. The emergence of Project B has immediate and devastating implications for other burgeoning ventures, particularly Unrivaled, another new league attempting to capture the hearts of basketball fans. With Project B targeting top-tier WNBA talent and offering substantial financial incentives, Unrivaled now looks doomed in comparison. It's a brutal reality check for the competitive market, demonstrating that only the strongest financial players will survive in this rapidly evolving landscape. The ripple effect is undeniable. If stars like Kelsey Mitchell, Jonquel Jones, and Camila Cardoso are seriously considering Project B, or even signing, it creates a vacuum of talent that the WNBA simply cannot afford. These aren't interchangeable players. They are the bedrock of their franchises and the league's marketability. Their departure, whether voluntary or due to WNBA policy conflicts, could dismantle team dynamics and severely diminish the overall quality of play, leading to an undeniable decline in fan interest. This crisis brings an even more direct threat to the WNBA's biggest asset, Caitlyn Clark. While the source doesn't explicitly state Clark is joining Project B, the implication is clear. If Caitlyn Clark plays, I'm watching it. This sentiment highlights her unparalleled drawing power. If the WNBA effectively bans star players like Mitchell by forcing them to choose Project B, the pressure on Clark to follow the money or to be the face of a league that can pay becomes immense. Her presence would validate any new league, and her absence would cripple the WNBA. The strategic follow of Kelsey Mitchell, a critical piece of the Indiana Fever, is particularly telling given Caitlyn Clark's arrival there. It's a direct challenge to the Fever's immediate future, and by extension to the WNBA's star power. The WNBA has heavily invested in Clark's success, and if her key teammates are being poached by a rival, it undermines the entire investment. This isn't just about one player, it's about destabilizing the league's most exciting new narrative. The WNBA faces an existential threat. Can it compete financially with a league offering lucrative compensation packages backed by vast resources? Its current salary structure, while improved, pales in comparison to what Project B seems willing to pay. This financial disparity is the core of the problem, forcing players to make decisions that prioritize their financial future over traditional league loyalty, essentially pushing them out of the WNBA by offering an unmatchable alternative. The narrative surrounding sports washing also puts the WNBA in an uncomfortable position. While they strive for progressive values, their players are being tempted by money from a source with a controversial human rights record. This creates a moral dilemma for the league itself. How do they counter a financially superior opponent without compromising their own principles, especially if players are choosing financial freedom over ethical concerns? It's a no-win situation that tarnishes the game. The WNBA's rules regarding players participating in other leagues will become a critical battleground. If Project B operates during the WNBA season or demands exclusivity, then any player choosing Project B is effectively banned from the WNBA by virtue of their choice. The WNBA will be forced to draw a line in the sand, but at what cost? Losing its top talent to a competitor could be a death knell, yet allowing players to freely move could undermine its own structure. Consider the sheer caliber of athletes mentioned. Kelsey Mitchell, a scoring machine, Jonquel Jones, an MVP, Camila Cardoso, a future superstar. These aren't just names, they are the heart and soul of their teams and the league's future. Their potential exit or ban from WNBA play would leave gaping holes that are almost impossible to fill, diminishing the quality of games and, critically, the fan experience. The league would be a shell of its former self without them. This unfolding drama is not just about basketball, it's about the entire ecosystem of women's sports. The rise of Project B challenges traditional league structures, player compensation models, and even the moral fabric of sports partnerships. It forces everyone involved, players, fans, and administrators, to reconsider what they value most: loyalty, financial security, or the purity of the game itself. The stakes could not be higher in this global power play. The ultimate question becomes, if a new league can effectively poach top-tier WNBA talent with massive contracts, creating a situation where players like Kelsey Mitchell are forced to make choices that preclude WNBA participation, what does this mean for the WNBA's ability to retain its megastars? The implied ban on Mitchell by virtue of her lucrative choices signals a path that even Caitlyn Clark might be compelled to follow, her exit from the WNBA becoming a very real, financially driven inevitability. The WNBA stands at a precipice, with high-profile players like Kelsey Mitchell being courted by Project B, offering unprecedented financial incentives while simultaneously creating a situation that could effectively ban them from WNBA play. The future of the league hangs in the balance. If this mass exodus continues, the pressure on Caitlyn Clark to confirm her own exit will become unbearable, forcing her to choose between legacy and financial freedom, potentially unraveling the very fabric of women's professional basketball.